JB Cycles here with update on October the 13th. So I'm not gonna lie, I think this is very difficult. But zooming out, we have the 3.5 year cycle. We are at the end of this very bullish green phase, and now we soon should start to worry about this bull market. However, it could very well extend into the winter, but I think we have to be careful now very soon. I had this scenario for an ABC bull market of about 2 years, and we are in the area where it may top out. And I had two scenarios for a possible top here this late summer and fall, and we are now following the red scenario, which suggests the top is very close, just a few weeks away possibly. And then I had this other scenario from the 73.5 year cycle, suggesting this could be, you could call it a straddle top or inverted cycle or whatever. Anyway, this would be an analog. It's actually the previous bull market, suggesting we are maybe just very few weeks away from a possible bull market top. And I think, well, the market is kind of difficult right now, and I think the reason may be all of these geomagnetic storms. You know, they are hitting us now every week and also several times per week. And we just had a very strong sunstorm a few days ago, almost or pretty much the same strength as the one in August, but not as strong as the one in May. That was the strongest one in 20 years. But I think all this wild geomagnetic activity is messing up a bit short term here, because this 4-week cycle and the 2-week oscillation has been quite stable now all through this bull market for 2 years. Sometimes there are some disturbances, but they are all but the market always fell back to the normal rhythm these past months. But you know, beginning here in September, we had a low that came a bit too late, and this very mild dip was maybe a little bit late, and now this past couple of weeks has been really messy. You know, this low was probably this market low a little bit late, but where is this low? I can't see that low in the market. What's going on? But you know, sometimes, like back here, we had something similar. You know, the 4-week cycle low, but market doesn't want to make any low, and that was just ahead of a major top. So it's very possible that we are, you know, maybe we get a dip and then starting to making a topping formation here. That would suggest an early top before the election. That's possible. We are so close, but I would rather I think rather the top should be closer, or maybe even after the election. But if we look at my 3 cycles here, my composite of these 3 cycles, you know, the dominant one has a top early in November, and right now the cycles are rather bullish into the election. I would not look for a top yet, and the wavelets for the S&P, however, is setting up. It looks very much like these two analogs, the 2 previous major tops. So, you know, it will be, in my opinion, much more healthy if we could have finished a decent consolidation here and then loading up before the last pop-up into, and maybe even after the election. But now, you know, market just wants to break out similar to this point and this point, suggesting, you know, that if we repeat this pattern, but I don't like patterns like this repeating more than 2 times. You know, when it repeats 1 time, then the second time it doesn't work. But yeah, so possible top here. This well, let's say in about 1 week. Like here we had about 1 week, and here we had about 1 week. So it could be a top in just about 1 week. However, if we were to drop down here, completing something that looks like a consolidation, because it's the strange question here. Are we here making a low, a consolidation, a low, and then we start to break out, or are we making a top? Is it a top or a low? Yeah. So if we dip down here, we could complete the consolidation, and then we get much more time for another leg to the upside. But if we continue up, it looks like we're making a topping formation. So I really don't like, or I should say, I really find this hard to interpret. Let me see. We have the hourly data, Dow Jones Industrial. Also here, there has been some confusion, because here in light orange I have the 2-week oscillation. It has been working fine into this point where I started to speculate if it had shifted to this dark orange one, and indeed that looks to be the case. It was like initially I thought it was something like this, but when I'm looking at the wavelets here, and it does very much looks much more like this is the situation for the 2-week oscillation, and that fits with the cycle I just showed here, how it looks like something has shifted. And that means we are very close to the top of this 2-week oscillation, so we should definitely, within the next few days, we should go into cash position and await this. And if we do not crash down, then around this point, the next long position. Hold it for about 1 week, and yeah. So when we are so close to a possible bull market high, we have to be very careful. But I still don't think this is any time to be shorting heavily and being perma bearish, but it's definitely time to get very careful. So it looks like we there could be some more upside here, very short term, Monday, Tuesday, but then I would be careful. We do have trend lines like this, so we do have some time here, but if we go sideways, then in a couple of days it's risky to get some kind of a breakdown here. And as I said, if we continue up here, it would to me feel like some kind of a topping formation if we were topping here. But if we could get down here and complete a bigger sideways move, then possibly loading up for a last leg up to the upside in this bull market. So I think this is a very difficult position right now, so focus very short term and make short term trades, and be prepared for anything, because as I said, we are at the solar maximum, and we get these frequent strong geomagnetic storms, and they tend to cause a lot of volatility in markets and confusion, and very often the initial reaction in the markets is bullish, but then markets discover that it is all based on hope and nothing substantial, and it's just a short squeeze, and then the markets end up crashing down in some fashion. So I guess that's for today, and see you next week.